Is that a new banner behind you?
It wasn't hung up last time we talked, but I've had it for a few months. So we
Oh,
took that
cool.
on the last tour.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, congratulations.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you.
Huge
Uh,
news. You're official member of the Jackson roster now. That's
yep.
crazy.
Yeah, I'm stoked. It's very cool.
I remember on the last podcast I asked you at the end who, if you could be sponsored by any guitar company, you immediately said Jackson, and then you're like, I would love to get a crazy worn like a flying V from them with like some distressed work on it and all this.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, man.
Can't wait to see that happen now.
Yeah, I mean, I still gotta come up with the funds to at least cover the artist pricing for a custom shop or whatever. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's definitely a little bit more within reach than it was last time we talked.
How'd this come to fruition? Were you working on this back then? Did you already know at that time that you were going to have a deal with them, or is this something new?
I mean, yeah, I've been kind of working on it for a couple of years now. So I met the artist rep, Mike Tempesta, at NAMM in, what is it, 2018, I guess? That would be last year's NAMM. And I had Conan, my buddy from Ex Mortis, who already works with Jackson, kind of introduce me. And so, it all went well. It was just kind of like a, hey, I'm here, I exist, let me get on your radar sort of thing. Honestly, 2018 was kind of bad timing, at least at that point, because I didn't really, I mean, I had a band, but I hadn't really announced that, Silver Talon was a thing. We hadn't really done anything. I hadn't released any music or anything like that. So I think to them, I was kind of just like another, guy who used to be in a band and is now just on the internet jamming out and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, fast forward to this year, the timing is a lot better, especially because, obviously the band has done things. We've released stuff. We worked with Jeff Loomis, who's another Jackson guy who just had a new signature model released this year. And yeah, so, we're getting a little bit more press and we're going out and playing festivals in Europe and doing all that kind of stuff. So it just seemed like a good time. And, lucky enough for them, all the numbers lined up and all that kind of stuff. So,
Dude, that is so cool. So I guess there's tons of guys out there with a bunch of followers on Instagram, but that is something that sets apart is that you are in a touring band. You guys have a new album out on Spotify that people should definitely check out if they haven't.
yeah.
I listened to it today. I listen to it all the time at work. It's like one of my main
Oh, hell yeah.
main go-tos.
Dude, thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
Man, how's the response been with the album?
It's been good. It's been, I mean, no complaints. I mean, we haven't really done like a whole lot of, PR push behind it. Maybe just a little bit, but even despite that fact, we're getting picked up and added to like top 10 2018 lists of just, crazy stuff. Like some guy in Brazil just sent me a photo of his top 10 list in this magazine that's pretty big out there called Roadie Crew. It's kind of like the Brazilian Decibel, I guess, if you will. But we were there, and yeah, that's nuts, though. This is like a constant stream of that kind of stuff just sort of flowing in, which is, really crazy to see. I didn't expect that, but happy to see it.
Yeah, well, you guys deserve it. Like I said, it's really good. It's recorded very well, and it's we were talking last time. It's kind of almost between an EP and a full length. It's like I think 40 minutes, right? Somewhere around there.
A little bit less, maybe like 35 or 36, I think is where it's clocking in at. So it's longer than a Slayer or full-length album, I guess.
Longer than a Van Halen album. Those are all like 30
Yeah,
minutes.
right?
Yeah.
Very true.
So does this deal, does it spread over to Charvel too? Because they're pretty much partners, right?
Yeah, I actually I asked about that because, of course, when you're doing an endorsement deal, it's obviously a two-way street and stuff. So I have to, rep them in exchange for, them repping and endorsing me. So I asked, like, hey, am I okay to play my, my old Charvels that I have, et cetera, et cetera. Because I wasn't sure, I was like, do they want to keep the brand sort of separate or what have you, because you don't see a lot of like cross pollination, I guess, between the two of them. Even though, yeah, they are the same brand. And yeah, that's totally okay, I guess, because it's under the Jackson family. It's fine. I'm assuming EVH probably falls under that category as well. So anything from there is a-okay.
I saw some pictures of you from NAMM. I missed you. I
man.
went on Thursday. I was going to go Thursday and Sunday, and then after I went Thursday, I went all day. It's like an hour and a half from my house, and the freeways are just shit.
Yeah.
So I drove out there, walked all day. My old ass got tired.
Sure.
Didn't want to go back on Sunday.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah, that was the one day I wasn't there, was Thursday, so that would make sense why I did not run into you.
Yep. I saw that you were hanging out with Jeff Loomis, who appears on your album.
Yep. Yeah, he was there. He was there on Saturday, and then he quickly got the hell out of Anaheim. Man.
I think
Oh, go ahead.
No, what were you
I
going
was
to
going to
say?
say, man, like, just kind of hanging out with that guy a little bit on Saturday, like, whoa, that dude's day must have been insane. It was like, I don't know, man, like 8 hours of just nonstop talking and chatting with people.
Are you ready for that? It's when you're the next Jeff Loomis.
Jeez, man. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
You said you haven't been doing that much PR, but get ready for it. I mean, once the word gets out even more, it's starting to. I mean, you're catching fire. Sponsored by Jackson. EMG was already big, who you're also sponsored by, but
Yeah, totally.
Jackson, what?
Yeah, man. No, it's cool. It's I'm getting ready.
I saw that you tried out the Jeff Loomis signature model, right? The new Jackson.
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
It's cool. It's super simplistic, and it's basically just like no BS, everything you want, just to kind of get out and play and shred and all that kind of stuff. I'm super excited about the heel truss rod adjustment thing on a neck through, because I don't know that I've ever seen that before. I mean, they do it a lot on the bolt-ons, of course, but for a neck through, that's kind of different. So I'm glad to see that made the final cut.
That is weird. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't think I've ever seen that on a neck through either. That's weird.
Yeah, it was. I was talking to Joe, who I believe he worked on the Jeff Loomis, the actual signature model that came out, but I know for sure he built the Kelly that he was playing prior to the signature, kind of the custom one that he had. But that heel truss rod adjustment was also in place on that one. So I was asking him about that, and it was kind of up in the air whether or not they were going to keep it, because I think it's maybe kind of a pain in the ass to add to a guitar. But yeah, he said that was the first time that he had ever done anything like that. So
I think it was you who said that the guitar was noticeably worn by Sunday. Like you could tell that everybody was playing it.
Yeah. It was like, yeah. And I mean, it has that, satin finish, which is going to kind of like take on your
grease.
Like wherever you're putting your body, it's going to kind of show after a while. And yeah, on Sunday, it was like, okay, you could see, past the pickup, kind of where your fingers are going to, sort of sit on the body. There was a worn spot there and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, people had been playing the hell out of that thing.
Yeah, I saw it Thursday at like noon. So I saw it when it was only out there for like 2 or 3 hours so far, and it was like brand new.
Yeah.
And one thing that's pretty trippy about that thing too is it's got 3 different finishes on it. It's got a satin neck.
Yep.
The neck's sprayed in satin. The front's got like an open grain matte finish, and then the sides and I think the back are gloss.
Yeah.
So like just building that thing, it's like that's a completely different concept than I've ever seen. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense for the neck to be satin, of course, because the glossy polyurethane finish can get kind of gummy when you're trying to play it and you're playing it live and sweating and stuff like that, especially. Yeah, the front was kind of an interesting choice because, yeah, I mean, that thing's going to wear out and it's going to get kind of beat up. So you have to, I guess, like that kind of thing. So I can only hope that, Jeff being as huge of an Yngwie fan as he is, he probably is like looking at the old Yngwie Strats and like, they just look so cool how messed up they are. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, man, I don't want to take too much from your Saturday, but huge congrats, man.
Dude, thank you so much.
What a huge move. I mean, happy for you. Really happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you. I am very excited as well. So I'll have
Everybody check him out at B VanHoosen on Instagram and at Silver.Talon.
Yeah.
Dude,
Hell yeah,
killing
man.
the game.
Dude, thank you so much.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, cool. Take care.
All right, you too, Bryce.
All right, thanks.